Hello there. Is it in between the years 2006 and 2012 and your parents can't stop yelling about their marital problems? Is the stock market crash of 2008 really affecting your household? Well, boy oh boy, do I have the console to console your feelings. Get it? It's a pun. Introducing the Nintendo Wii, which sold 101.63 million consoles before ending production, making it the 7th highest selling console of all time. I did that by memory! Be impressed by me! Nice! You may be asking yourself, the Nintendo Wii? David, it's 2024. Nintendo ended production for a reason. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Do any of those other consoles have Mario Kart? No, I didn't think so. Well, one of them does, the Switch. They don't have that giant steery thing. I didn't think so. They even made an inflatable cart for Mario Kart Wii. You see Xbox doing that? You see Microsoft doing that? Bill Gates, huh? He's probably on the island. The fucking island. The Nintendo guys working hard. Working hard. Do any of those consoles have Wii Sports? No. 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 Who else has Mario? Nintendo does. You gonna get that on a PS4? Huh, Sony? Huh? So, introducing the Nintendo Wii, featuring somewhat a state-of-the-art motion sensing detecting system, Mario games, Me Channel, the internet, Everybody Votes channel, and even more Mario games. What's not to like? I mean, Queen Elizabeth even owned a pure gold one, 24 karat. It was marvelous.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
We're in a 4-foot group!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
Okay.
Hold on. All right. Wizard, what do you do?
What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? Hey everyone, my name is Elena, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's been kind of controversial in today's modern day and age, and that's AI, or artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a science of making machines think more like humans. Now you might be more familiar with common uses of AI, such as either with studying, ChatGPT, or even art generators. All of these AI typically take information that they've gathered from other sources and mashes them all together to make some type of product. Now today I'm going to be talking about something that is one of my personal favorite uses of AI, and that is in video games. So let's start back at the beginning. AI basically came out when computers were digitalized in the 1950s. They were almost immediately used to play video games, and one of the earliest instances of this happening was a game called Nim, which was basically where two players would try to take turns in a strategy-based game, trying to take objects from a pile and just try not to be the last person to take the last object from that pile. Now they made an AI in 1951 and published it in 1952. Keep in mind, this was about 20 years before Pong actually came out, and yet this AI was regularly winning against really good players. Now, if you're more for games that were back in the day, don't worry, because AI was actually used commercially in arcades. Now you might recognize this next game I'm going to be talking about because it is considered one of the most influential of its time, and that is Space Invaders, where you played as a little spaceship that shot at rows of aliens. Now, AI during this time was used to simulate random movements of aliens that were already pre-programmed into the game. This way, it kept the players hooked, and voila! Now it's considered one of the most memorable retro games of all time. When I was a kid, I was gifted a joystick, which actually plugged into the TV, and it had a bunch of Namco games on it, one of which is also super influential, and we all know it, Pac-Man. You play as this little yellow circle, trying to eat smaller yellow circles and being chased by ghosts. It turns out those ghosts are actually run by AI, so I'm going to show some of the gameplay of me playing that and talking more about what happens behind the scenes. Let's go check it out. Okay, so, you ready? Let's get started. So, Pac-Man is a maze chase video game, where if you don't know what Pac-Man is, I'm going to tell you right now. So the player controls the yellow character called Pac-Man through a maze. In order to win, you need to eat all the dots placed in the maze while avoiding the 4 colored ghosts, which are super cute by the way. There's Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. So Blinky is the red ghost, Pinky is of course the pink ghost, Inky is cyan, and Clyde is orange. When you eat all of the dots, you get to move on to the next level. Each of the 4 ghosts has its own unique artificial intelligence, or personality. Blinky directly chases Pac-Man, and Pinky and Inky try to position themselves in front of Pac-Man, usually by cornering him, which happens to me a lot, and Clyde switches between chasing Pac-Man and fleeing from him. In the corner of the maze are these power pellets, and when they're eaten, the ghosts temporarily turn blue and run away from Pac-Man. In this form, Pac-Man can eat the ghosts, and then when he eats the ghosts, the eyes of the ghosts respawn at the center of the maze once again. On the sides of the maze are tunnels, which teleport you to the other side of the screen, and I didn't know this until I actually researched it, but when the ghosts go through these tunnels, it actually slows them down, so strats. As the game goes on, the levels begin to get harder, and the ghosts get faster. Also, the power pellets effect wears off quicker, and eventually, once you get far enough, they disappear entirely, so it's all up to skill. Now, I'm no Pac-Man champion, but typically, my strategy is to try and take care of each of the corners first, and then just kind of like wait until the ghosts get close before eating the power pellet. This way, I can have my revenge and clear out each area, so I don't have to worry about coming back to it without a power pellet. Here's some fun facts about Pac-Man. Pac-Man actually began development in early 1979, and it took a whole year and 5 months to complete. And at that time, that was the longest for a video game being made up to that point. And Pac-Man was produced by a 24-year-old employee called Toru Iwatani. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. He purposefully made Pac-Man with the idea of it being non-violent so that it would be more family-friendly, because he wanted more families in arcades. Now, if you're a fan of animated series, Pac-Man actually got 2. So, one was made from 1982 to 1983, and the second one, which I know a lot better, is the one that aired on Disney XD in June 2013, called Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. It definitely takes place from his perspective as a high schooler, which was really interesting. And we see as time goes on, AI only gets better. In the early 2000s, we had Halo Combat Evolved come out, where the Covenant, aka the bad guys, would fight the player, making them seem more intelligent. They would actually start shooting at the player, throwing bombs at the player, and reacting to where the player was, therefore deepening the plot of the story. We also have other examples like God of War, where we have the buddy system. We're able to again explore a world, but also have AI help accompany us in our travels. And one of my personal favorites, The Last of Us, where 2 main characters, Joel and Ellie, traverse across a post-apocalyptic America where there are zombies and bad guys and danger at every turn, all guided by AI, which therefore helps deepen the story building and also makes it seem like there's more danger. It's not just the player alone in a game, but they're interacting with something that's much more terrifying. you might wonder if this is even considered AI, and a lot of people will be there with you questioning, is it true? Well, it turns out that AI actually is meant to build on itself. That artificial intelligence typically starts learning and building on the knowledge that it learns, versus game AI doesn't necessarily do that. A lot of game AI actually is just there to enhance the gameplay itself and isn't actually meant to learn on what the player does, or doesn't. What's really cool about today's modern day and age is the fact that we're able to take real AI and integrate it into video games, and this is something that I've started seeing in a lot of indie games coming up recently. A cool example of this is called Suck Up. It's a game where you play as a vampire, going from house to house in a neighborhood, trying to convince everyone that you are indeed not a bloodthirsty vampire, but someone else, so that they'll let you into their homes and you can suck their blood. Blah, blah, blah. But don't worry, it's actually really cool, and you get to talk into your microphone, and the AI will determine whether or not you're convincing enough. Another example I've seen of AI being integrated into video games is a game called Will You Snail, where you play as a snail in a 2D platformer game, and the AI actually tries to predict where your character will be landing and accommodates for that and tries to put obstacles purposely in your way by studying the character's movements. It's really cool. Thank you so much for joining me on the history of AI. I can't wait to see where it goes in the future, especially for video games, because we have a very interactive video game future coming up for us. And if you feel like AI is not for you, don't worry, because there are plenty of multiplayer games that are still out there, because if you can't sweep the leaderboards, you can still sweep your friends off their feet. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
God damn it! Oh, hey there. I was just trying to beat my mom's Miss Pac-Man high score. With no temperament issues, I promise. But while this is an unforgettable classic, we should take a look at the state of modern gaming.
Like many things, gaming has evolved throughout the years, increasing in complexity and utilizing the newest technology to perform at levels once thought unimaginable. Yesterday's joysticks have evolved into the next-gen consoles we see today. But with this technology also comes a price hurdle that not even Mario could hop. How are you supposed to get into modern gaming without losing all your coins? Well, that's where indie games come in. Indie games are independent games created by a small group, or even sometimes a single person, with the goal of stepping into the world of game development. These smaller games often contain an insane amount of creativity and passion, usually for a pretty low cost to the gamer. And all you need is a computer.
All right. So I just wanted to show how easy it really is to just get into gaming and throw yourself in there, especially with like the cost, because like big games like the new Spider-Man 2, like the new Legend of Zelda game, they're costing $60 to $70 and requiring like $300 to $500 consoles to play. And I just wanted to go ahead and show like how indie games can help you get into gaming. Well, I went ahead and I got, let's see, I think it was 5 indie games, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 5 indie games. I've never played them before, and 2 of them are completely free to play on Steam. and the other 3, it cost exactly $19.99. So 5 games under $20, and show how easy it is to just randomly find a game that you're gonna love. Okay, so the first game I got is called Frost Trade. This is one of the free games on Steam, and it just looked like this 2D game with cute art, and I have no idea what it's about, so let's get right into it. So after a quick tutorial, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am conducting a train, and from the very heart of eternal winter, those who long to survive have gathered, standing on the failures of the past. I won't read the rest of it. Conductor's installation ceremony. The old conductor has been kicked out, and a new leader has stepped in. The great storm follows. Passengers are still angry, and the train must go on. Heading into a new destination. I am your new assistant conductor. Your first task is to set the course before the storm devours us. Okay, let's restore the passengers. First, we must go to the observatory. The observatory can be found by heading east from here. Wow. Okay, so it looks like I'm just conducting a train and going through stations and trying to make the train better for people as we go through this storm. Okay. So fun fact that not everyone might know about me is while I'm the Geeks host at CTV, I am also the training director. And another fun fact, I've never once conducted a train for them. So this is kind of like me actually doing that job for once. Oh, I see. Okay, so these drones come in and they're like, you want more of the things? I don't really know what's happening. Who knows where we're going, because I don't.
First, we must go to the observatory.
Polluted zone. We love the polluted zone. They are hating this stinky. It's not that stinky. It isn't. Come on. If I can deal with it, they can deal with it. I don't know what I've been doing this whole time. I got all this zeal, though. What about the zeal?
Sadly, the recording for the rest of the indie games didn't pick up my face cam or the good audio, so I will have to talk about it here. The next game I played was another free game called Lasers, also on Steam. That game was like a battle royale, almost similar to like Fall Guys, but the main obstacle was just lasers. I thought the mechanics were interesting, like you could crouch, jump, crawl, and yeah, I didn't have the greatest time. I was really bad at this game, but it was a fun experience. I slowly got better, as you don't get to see because it took me years to actually improve. But overall, I think it was a fun game. I like that it was very fast-paced and it put a lot of pressure. There were clearly people that were playing that were much better than me, and they got to see how bad I was. But I think I did pretty good for my first time ever playing that game and not even knowing what it was. Now, the next game I played is probably one of my favorites now. It's called Buzz. And you just go left and right. But the game is all about like physics and momentum. You're this little buzzsaw. And when you go right and you go into any of like the weird fabric-y ground, you like cut into it. And the farther you cut into it, the more momentum you get that launches you up. So it's really interesting and took me a while to get the hang of actually how the movement worked, but it was super fun. Each level also had like this yellow crystal where I really don't know what you got for collecting it, but it really made me feel like I needed to collect it to prove that I was a true gamer. And I was working on this second level for probably 30 minutes before I finally was able to do it. But yeah, this was probably the funnest game I was able to find here, and I played it a lot since, and I think the physics behind the game and the movement is really interesting and something I haven't seen before. And you only press 2 buttons, A and D, to go left and right. So I thought that was really interesting how much movement and momentum you could get with just 2 buttons. So I highly recommend this game. The next game I played was this 2D platformer called Blasphemous. I was actually pretty shocked by it because when I looked at it on the store, what really brought my attention to it was the art. And I was not expecting it to be as graphic as it was. I probably should have looked more into that. So if you really like the more bloody games and like the 2D platformer games, you'll like it. It seemed to be taking place in like a fantasy setting. And I thought it was super interesting. I only really fought the first boss, but I had a lot of fun, and yeah. And finally, the last game I played in this under $20 indie game session of mine was Manifold Garden. This game was super interesting. The 3D art, it reminded me of other games I've played, and I think the puzzles with gravity were super interesting. I like a lot of games where you can manipulate gravity, so it immediately piqued my interest. And I didn't get too far in the game. Again, I only played probably like the first half hour. But it's a really trippy experience, and you like match these colored cubes to buttons to open gates and go further. And as you go further into the game, the puzzles get a lot harder. I eventually got to a point where it was too late in the night and my brain shut down, so I just kind of, leapt off the map and saw the infinite horizon be upon me. That really, got me in the exponential mood. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Watch this. Lights off.
Not letting me pick it up.
Lights off. Lights on. Lights off. Lights on. Lights on.
Oh, you're daring me. Good luck.
I said it's Christmas! Do you ever feel? Oh no 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 kill me. Michael Bublé? Michael Bublé.
Of canned sparkling water bubbly fame? Yeah, no, this is our of canned lemonade. Are you sure about that?
Okay, come on, jump time, jump! Shh, I'm trying to watch a show! I'm trying to watch a show! I'm trying to watch a show! Shh, shh, shh.
All of your questions.
No, 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 no! It's your fault! I was just trying to watch a show!
I'll be a chef. No, I'm gonna be a gardener. Gaming. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're ready. I'm almost dead.
It's taking so long.
I was making myself a snack.
Right, let me break it down for you.
A Walmart would look great here.
Oh, dude, a Dollar General. Oh, go so hard. I call this one the screams of the damned.
Will now get better.
I'm really trying. I'm back.
Brain fire! Oh my god!